Hey guys, it's Wednesday evening and we're going to carry on with this mineral stuff and we're going to do it by getting our controller, believe it or not. And what we're going to do is we're going to check in our controller and do we have a saved game data, right? But do we have a saved game? Apparently not. Okay, so what we'll do is we shall go into our mineral spawner, right? Which is this thing here. Okay, and the next thing we need to do is we need to check out our overrides and our controller. Right? Okay. So what we've got to do is we've got to drag this in. We've got to add a pin and then draw that in. And then in here we're drawing the patch. Now do we have spawn minerals? We're going to have to tidy this up a bit, that's for sure. Right. And then in our variables, in our comp, we're going to have saved by EMS. And that's going to get saved. And then we're going to compile that. Then we're going to FE controller. Then we're going to go to our event graph. And this is spawn minerals. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to drag this down. Right? And that's going to draw a patch. That's just getting the length, so that's fine. Right? And so, in actual fact, we're going to set this to saved once we have drawn all our patches. So we drag this over to here and we connect that in so it still works all fine. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to save that. And before we do anything, right, we're going to say saved. We're going to get that. Then we're going to stick a delay on the front. Right. I'm going to say 0.3. And then we're going to say not. So basically we're going to say if it hasn't been saved, then we're not going to create anything. Right? We're going to branch that. And we're going to drag this back a bit, like so. Then we're going to connect this up, and this is going to go to true. That's going to go in there. We'll align this left. And we'll drag it up. That'll do it. Right. So now we can basically test it to see that if it has saved, we save it, and if it's not, we don't. So the next thing we need to do is go into here, right, and in here, right, we need to go to class settings, right, and we're going to add, I'm going to say EMS. Okay, and then what we do is we get all of these and save the ones we need. Okay. Don't think we need temp minerals. I don't think we need that either. Or that. Actually, we do need that. We don't read. I don't think we need rock min, rock max. But we don't need the controller. We're going to have that. Then we might need this. I'm not 100% sure on that, so we'll save it anyway. And we'll have in scanned. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll say new game. And we'll call it mineral. Right? Then if we save it and stop it, press play, we'll exit that just now and we'll just look at the code, right? Right. So it's true, false, so it's not going to do anything. But it didn't spawn our minerals. Having said that, they are there. Right? So our minerals are there. So we are going to have to do something here. Okay. So this adds a little bit of complexity to what we're doing. But that's fine. Now, what I'm interested in here is these indexes, okay? So, if I press play and continue, right, we resume, and you can see here that we have our indexes. So that's cool, right? Now the interesting thing here is we've got that. So we can stop this for now. Right. And in actual fact, this doesn't need to do anything. Right? Where it's happening is in the mineral. Okay, so if we have a mineral, this is where we need to do stuff. Okay? So, we need to set up a variable here as well to say EMS is saved. And that's going to be a bool. And it's going to be saved. We're going to do that. That's okay, that's okay, that's okay. Then we're going to set this to true. Okay. going to tidy this up a bit by moving it all down. Well, actually, we're not going to tidy it up a bit. Now, what I want to know, right, is basically we're going to do a delay here, right? And then we're going to say EMS is saved. We're going to get that. And we're going to branch on it, right? And then we're going to say not, so that we get the true on the top. Okay, we're going to branch on that. Branch. Right? And the thing I want to know here is how many rocks we have. Okay? Get instance count. Because I want to know if these instances have been actually created or not, right? So up here we're going to say print string I'm going to plug that in there. Going to make this white, right, and we're going to bang it on the screen for 30 so that we get a chance to see. Now I'm hoping this says a number and not 0. Right? We're going to have to do this again. Right? So we're going to have to stop that. And what I'm going to do is I am going to delete all the saved games. Right? And we're going to press play, new game, and we'll call it M1. Okay, so it's now created everything. Then we'll save it. And then we'll continue. And we should get a list of numbers. And we didn't. Huh. Okay, well. I guess I guess we do this. Right. Interesting. Right. So if we continue this, according to this, it's not going in here. Interesting. Wait a minute. Just let me check something here. Yep, I've set that to saved. Okay. Right. So we have got a controller and we've got a none. Okay. Right. Okay. This is just giving us the image. Right, so if the row's not found, we just jump straight past this for now. Okay. Right, I think we're going to have to do this. That one's bauxite. How can that be bauxite? Right, the question is, how are these saved? Right, so these are all unidentified, right? Okay. So we need to do one more thing. We need to say is scanned. And we branch off of there. Nostalgia hitting hard here. Interesting. How was that, Fish? And good evening to you. So, if it's not, we basically do that. Okay. How are you being hit with some nostalgia? I'm interested to know. Right. That's purely circumstantial, right? I'm afraid. Let's see what happens here. Make sure this is working okay. Yep. Perfect. Cool. I don't know if Red Alert was the first one I ever played. But there we have it. We have the saved game, and it's now going to save our minerals. And we can make sure just one more time. We'll here come our drones. Right. I can't remember if it was Red Alert that was kind of my first one or not, or if it was just straight up Command and Conquer. Right. So we basically succeeded in saving our minerals onto the map. Right. So I'll tell you what we'll do is we shall tidy it up and we'll actually comment it for a change, because I really need to start commenting this stuff. Right, so this is create new patch. And we don't want it to be red. Right, that'll do. We'll okay that. Right. I'll move this down a bit. Then we'll move this down a bit. Right. So you see, this is going to be load, scanned, minerals. I kind of made that green, didn't I? So we'll continue with that. Then we'll comment that. And this is going to be load default minerals. And again, we'll make this green. And we'll make this 50. Go. We'll drag this down a bit and out a bit, and we'll drag them down. Right, save that. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is, actually I don't know, because this is all kind of working. Now, there is a way I want to do this for the probes, which aren't quite right yet. Right? And you must be quite old fish if Red Alert was your first online game. If it was at the time it came out, right? Going to add that caveat, right? We're still possibly going, or are we? Yeah, we might do that, right? So, there is one last probe thing that I might want to change. Oh wait a minute, what year was Red Alert? Right, you've got me interested, right? Right, Command and Conquer. Red Alert. Right, so it was 1995, right? I suppose. Because I must have been in my mid-20s, mid to late 20s, for the original one, right? So that shows you how old I am. Right. So that's an interesting concept. I'll need to wait till those land. Right. Now, these should... Yep, we're only getting two this time, which is kind of what we expected. Oh, that's an interesting one. Yeah, that's bauxite. That's cool. Because that's what I want. And that's bauxite as well. Right, so this is actually quite cool because now I know what's bauxite and then I can put a miner down. Right, so basically the next part of the story, or not the actual story, but the programming part, is we're going to have to, when we put a miner down, right, we're going to have to get all the minerals around the miner, right? And then, so we're going to have to update that. It never did that before. It only got one thing, right? So for example, I can click on that and it says bauxite, but that's only because I clicked on a bauxite, right? It doesn't have any relationship to any of the other minerals that might be under this platform. And what I actually want to do is make it relative so that it actually removes the mined component or the mined ore from one of the ones that are below this, right? So that's all well and good. So what we can do here is we're going to have to go to our miner and then we're going to have to suss this out. Right? So what am I doing? Right, we go to buildings and miner. Right, now what I'm going to have to do is you will notice somewhere actually we don't, because we did this a completely right. Okay, here's the way it worked before. What we did is if we clicked on a mineral, now for those who haven't been on the stream before and seen how the game is made up till now, what happened was that you basically made the drones fly out and they found minerals, right? But now what happens is the minerals are spawned randomly in patches, and it's the drones that go out and identify the mineral, okay? And then what happened was when you basically, it automatically then put out a vehicle that drove to the mineral and then it spawned the miner. Okay, and then that mineral, its values, i.e. the type of ore and the quantity, were then passed to the miner. Okay? So you can see here we've got mineral amount, mineral mined amount, and ore type, right? So this is going to be slightly different now. We're going to have an array of possible minerals, right? Kinda fish, kinda. It was the drones spawned the mineral, right? And then when the mineral was spawned, it automatically spawned like a vehicle constructor that drove to the mineral and built the mine on top of that mineral, right? So we changed it so that the minerals spawn and they're not identified, and the drones now identify them, and then you have to manually place the miner on top of a mineral, right? But if we have a look at it, it can be on top of more than one mineral, right? And the reason, by the way, that these aren't coming back to copper or whatever is the fact that I didn't save it, okay? So what I mean is that if I launch the probe to here, right, the miner is going to basically cover these 9 tiles, okay? So I'm going to have to set up an array for each one of these minerals that the miner can actually extract from. Okay? Right, so if I build a miner on top of here, you'll notice that it actually covers this and this. Okay? So no, because right, here's the point, and here's why I need to do this, right? Let's do that again. Right, apparently, right, there we go. Right. Right, so imagine I am mining these, right? Now, it will do it, right? The game will do it, right? But this is just a logic issue here, right? Now, it's going to mine this patch here and this patch here. So what it's going to do, or the idea is, that it's going to mine from a random one of these 2 patches. Now, say there was one here, one here, and one here, then it would take one from one of the 5 patches, right? But the problem is that I can't just pass all these values in, because say I remove the miner, these patches still exist, okay? So it's really nothing to do with what one is the most. It's just a matter of which ones the miner is actually covering, okay? Now, it's going to be a pretty fairly straightforward plan here, right? Because basically what I can do is I can just say get all overlap. Don't think it's all, it's just overlapping. Get overlapping actors, right? And I can say of the type BP minerals. That's if I can bother to spell it right. Right, now, in theory, for each. Now, I won't need to do this every time because I'll be able to actually save this. Right? So, what I can do is I can add a variable, right? And I can say R overlapping minerals. I'm probably not going to be able to do this actually, but we'll do it for now. Right, and it's going to be an array, and it's going to be of type BP underscore mineral. Okay, now the funny thing is we can do that and then we can actually do this. That's interesting. Right, if we save that, that should be okay now. No? That's weird, because that is all BP minerals. Okay, well, whatever. Do for each. Right, delete that. Get that. Then add. And that'll go in there. And that can go in there. Right, have I set this up wrong? No, that's blueprint mineral. Wait a minute. That's weird. Yeah, it looks like it thinks it's weird as well. Right, because I shouldn't have to I shouldn't have to cast this. Right, okay, well, if you're going to make me cast that, whatever. Do as you wish, I suppose. Right, so basically what we can do is we can make this, that's kinda, it's going to take us a while to find out which one is the right one. Alright, I suppose we can add a breakpoint there. Right, now this is a minor. Press play on that. Right, so we can probe this. Right. So this should basically be 2, right, when we build our miner. Right. And as you can see there, it did absolutely jack. So that's completely bonkers. No, actually that's okay. Right? Because what we should be able to do is look in the outliner and get the miner. Then this miner and it's got nothing. Right? Now, I'm not 100% sure why it's not doing this. So we'll enable a breakpoint there. And it isn't saved by EMS at this point, so it should be coming down here. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. We haven't got an ore type at this point. Right, so this is where things have changed slightly, okay? So I'm going to need to rejiggle the logic. And we're going to rejiggle the logic when we come back from a little break. So if you're enjoying the stream, hit the like and subscribe, and check out the description for my Discord and ways to support the channel, Patreon and all that rubbish. And I shall be back in 2 minutes after a smoke. Yep, I've hit the button on the mic. What an idiot. I'm old and stupid. What can I say? Right, so we saved that, right, it's for later when we're going to do this. Right, so when we do that, right, as you can see, we have a box height, which is correct. We set up our output, which is right. Then we step over that, then we step over that, then we step over that. And do we have? Apparently we don't have any overlapping actors, and that's probably because I'm a freaking idiot, right? And the minor doesn't have any collision on. Right. So what we'll do is we have to go to our base, right? Base building. Where's base building? Right, base building, right? And oh, it has got interesting. Okay. Well, that was going to be the easy way of doing it, right? But obviously, and my wife is about to come in, I'm going to have to switch the mic off because the dog will go mental. So give me 2 minutes. Okay, we had our moment. Yeah, he just loses his crap for about 2 minutes. Then he's completely back to normal, you know. Right, so our issue here is we're not getting overlapping actors. Okay, now don't ask me why. That's something that we can look at later. Right, but what I'm suggesting here is we go about this in a slightly different manner. Right, now if we're going to have to do something in here, right? And what I'm going to suggest is that we fire down some line traces. Now, I did this earlier on the actual probe. Well, not. Did I do it on the probe? Kinda. Kinda. Did it on the probe, right? Where, right, I'll show you my idea, right? This is a better way of doing it to describe what I'm going to do. Right. Resume that, right, and get rid of that for now. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to let's imagine there's 9 spaces all around the minor, right? Imagine that's a 3 by 3 grid, okay? And what I'm going to just do is fire a line down at each of these grid points. And if it hits something, then we add it to the array of resources within this miner's scope of influence. Okay? Now, it would have been much nicer if I could just have did a collision on this, but apparently it ain't working. Right? Which is obviously kind of crap, but hey ho. And what we're going to do is we're going to have to do it in here. Right? But we can use what we've got in another place, which is in here. And it's actually not there. Now, where was this about? Right, where was this function that I did earlier? It's in the probe, that's where it is. Right. Now the probe, it's actually going to work kinda exactly the same way. Or is it? Right. Huh. It must be in the probe. But it's not, because this is no longer the probe. So I'm guessing it's in the mineral itself. But it doesn't appear to... Yeah, it is. Right, find mineral to scan. Right, this is it here. This particular function does exactly what we want it to do, right? And this is it here. Right, I've still to tidy this part up. It basically does what we want this to do. Okay, now we do have a local variable in here, or two, right? And these are the scan targets, right? So basically, I can duplicate that, hopefully, and then if we go to our miner, right, we've got to create a function, and we'll just call it scan for minerals, right, and then we'll click on there, and can we add? I'm guessing you can't. So this is going to be our scan points, and this is going to be an int point. And the question is, now we might be able to do this. So don't know why we duplicated that. Right, so can we copy this? Apparently yes. And then we can go back to our miner. Beautiful. And then we basically change these from 1,000 to 500. So we can copy that, paste that, paste that, paste, 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 and the rest are all minus. So do that. Do that. Do that. Okay. And in here we're going to have start location, and that's going to be a vector, and then we're going to have an output, and that's going to be mineral, and that's going to be BP mineral. Then we're going to add another temp mineral, and that's not going to be an array, and that's going to be BP mineral, right? And that is going to get broken there, and then that is going to go there. Actually, this is going to be slightly different. This isn't going to have an output, right? This is going to actually add them to the array. Right? So we're going to get that. And then we're going to add right, but the rest of the code is kind of going to be the same. Right, so if we go back to BP mineral, right, we don't need the output there. Well, we're going to copy this. We'll go back to our miner. Then we'll paste. And this is going to go to here. That is going to go there. Can delete that. Right? Then we're going to delete that. And then if this is true, we add this. Add that to that. And that goes there. we can try that. Alright. I'll tell you what, we'll stop it right now and we shall do, excuse me, we'll do a save all. And we shall continue that. Then we shall build our resume that. Right, now we should be able to click on our miner. And well, that's obviously that didn't work, right? Whoops. And that's because we didn't do it here. So we can delete that. And then in here, we do that. We do that. We can do reference to self, actor location, then that can basically go in there. Save that. I noticed a couple of weird things going on there, by the way. Don't think I didn't notice a couple of weird things going on, like the probes going out and right. We're getting nothing here. Okay. What ifs? Have I done something weird? Yeah. I've not added anything like a right blooming idiot. That goes there. That goes there. Right. So we still have nothing. Okay. Add a breakpoint there. Wait a minute. Yeah, they've been scanned, right? So that should be alright. So resume that. Step into right. So that's okay. So let's see if it ever hits here. Okay. Yeah, it does hit there. And the problem is scanned, apparently. And that's because the other one expects it to be not scanned, and this one expects it to be scanned. Right? The drones only scan if it hasn't already been scanned. This needs to add it if it has been scanned. Okay? Right. That makes sense. Resume. Resume. We'll just hit resume. We'll click on our miner. And there we have our array. But we're only getting one. Right? Now, I think that our start point and end point are going to be the end point, but our Z is going to work from, like, let's say 50 to 0, right? Because what I think's happening here is it's hitting itself, right? And then it's never hitting anything else, which is kind of an issue regarding those other things. But we can quite easily finish this, right? Because what we can do is we can use this, then we can break this, and this vector here, we can break this, right? And we can say 0. And then basically what we do is we plug these into here. What am I doing? We do that. We do that. And we do, let's say, 50. Right? And what I was going to do is I was going to do this, actually I was going to do this for the drones as well, right? Because it makes more sense. Because we don't want one of the, I'll show you what I mean, right? I'll show you what I mean. Right. So the issue is here, if you do one in the middle, right? Then it's never going to find this one because it's going to hit this one first. Okay? So it's never going to find that one. Right? And if you do it like here, and we're to do it, it's never going to hit, well, actually it does, but I don't know why that does that. But anyway, we'll check this out again, right? This seems like a better way to do it in the end. Okay, and now we click on our miner, and we've still only got one. Ah, okay. That's because we don't do ourselves, right? So basically, if we go back to here, right, okay, we can do this a little bit different, right? We can click on here. We can add to our scan points. And basically what we do is say 0, 0. Right? And that gets the original one. Okay. So we go and hopefully, no, we've still only got one. Right, let's see what mineral 177 is. Is that going to give us a position? No, it isn't. I suppose the best way to do this, alright, is to stick the debug on. Right, and then make it a bit higher. Let's say 250. Save that, and then we'll see where the lines are going. A bit weird, but anyway. One hits these little things now and again. Yeah, I kind of thought. There's one there, right? There should be one here, but there's not. There should be one here, but there's not. So we've got one there, we've got one here. There isn't one here. Right, what we'll do, right. So why would that? Okay, whatever. Why would it only do certain ones of these? Right? Right, let's make it much bigger just to make sure. Alright. Ah, crap. Just stop that for now and start it again. I'm just wondering here, is this a save game issue or something? Because the save game issue can be a bit weird. It does some weird stuff if I've not concentrated on it much. Right, there we go. Right. And according to this, it ain't hitting anything. But that would appear to be because... No. Right, let's do it the other way around. Right, let's do it 0. $500. Save that. Press play. Resume, resume, resume. Okay, I kind of think I know what's going on here. I think that building has got collision on it. I think that model has collision on it, right? So what we need to do is have a look at the miner. And I don't know why it's called a refinery. And it isn't. That's weird. No, it's not. It's not weird. It's getting set up from somewhere else. Okay, so we're not going to worry too much about that. What we're going to do is we're going to go to here and we're going to get structuring data, then we're going to go to DT menu buildings, and this is going to tell us this, right? And then basically, you see how this has got block all? Right? Now, in our miner, probably this building mesh, it says no collision. Well, that's weird. Right, we're gonna do one more thing, right? We're gonna say we're going to say 2000 to 5. And if we do that, then it can't hit the landscape, right? Because the landscape is at 1 or 0. I can't remember, but it's not higher than 5, I can tell you that. Now we can see that it's hitting. and we have 0. So we're hitting nothing. Right? We are basically hitting nothing. Which simply cannot be true. Right, that's absolutely bonkers. Our line traces are in the right place. Now, wait a minute. These are all hitting something. Right, see that? These are all hitting something. Because look, it's the cover. They're hitting the cover. Right, okay. Right, what's that saying? Right, okay, whatever. Right. This BP building cover, it's hitting that. And that's a blueprint in its own right. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to say make array. And we're going to say BP I'm not 100% sure how to make this array, to be honest. Suppose we could plug that in there. Okay, maybe we can't. Okay, so this is a list of actors. Okay, this is getting a bit... Collision always causes me issues, but hey ho. Right, apparently. That's a BP single building cover. Right, so we'll set this to no collision. And then we'll set this to no collision. Apparently that has no collision. Right, so we'll set those to no collision. save that. Right. I'm guessing that we might have a point under here. I'm still not got that. That's bizarre. I shouldn't have done that. Right, what we'll do is we'll do a continue, right? Except this time, what we're going to do is we're going to probe here, and then we're going to find out if it actually finds anything round about, or if it only finds one, or if we get, basically if we get the same result, right? We want to see if we get the same result. Okay. So once these fly back, I'm going to probe again and do this one. Right? And then once we've done this one, we'll do, it might do us, oh, we can save it anyway. Right? So what we're going to do is we're going to save it at this point, right? And then we're going to build our miner here, and we're going to see how many we get. So we've saved it, and now we're going to build our miner here. Then we're going to resume, right? And then we're going to see, and it's got 1. Right, so I'm presuming, right, that this is only doing the 1 at 0, 0. Okay? Now, the interesting thing there is we did not get the lines. We got one there. Right, now that should have hit, but it didn't. Right? So, I'm going to stop that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to see how many times it comes down here. Right? We're going to disable that, and we're going to add a breakpoint there, right? And then we're going to see what it hits, and to see if it actually hits stuff, right? Or if it's getting blocked by something else, right, that's causing an issue. So we're going to do that. Then We're going to resume. So that's number 1, okay? And it has hit a mineral, okay? Now, can we tell what this is? 2079 5122. Okay, whatever. Right, and then if we resume, right, so that should add, right? Then we can resume, and it never hits anything again. What? Right. And you can see here that it's only done one. Right, and it's only hit one. Mineral 236. That is bizarre. Okay, let's try one more thing. What we're going to do on the miner, we're going to do the platform mesh, and we're going to say it is hidden in the game, right, so we can see what's actually going on here. Right. Right, you can see that there's no line there, there's no line there. There's one line here. There's no line there. There's no line there. Right. Now, if I go back to mineral, now I'm going to assume I'm going to do that. Because I'm just wondering if our resume. You see how that made a difference? That's hit it, that's hit that one. Right, God knows why those are there. Now it should have done this one and this one, but it hasn't. Right. Now the interesting thing is, we still only got the same one. Okay, well, I think I need a fresh air on this one and I think about it. So if you've enjoyed the stream, hit the like and subscribe, join on Discord, links in the description along with the way to support the channel. And you can also support the channel for free by, well, doing all the things above, but having a look at my game on Steam and adding it to your wish list. So I shall see you tomorrow at 2 p.m. Central, and we'll see if we've got an answer to this problem yet. Bye bye for now.